Welcome to the shortened version of the personal growth vlog about the conscious evolution of consciousness, inspired by Eckart Tolle's video. And so the video I made, which I have yet to upload, was, I thought, really fun, and I'm going to upload it, but it is almost 30 minutes long, and I know most of you don't have that time, so I'm going to make a shortened version so that I can get straight into the point and you guys can enjoy a shorter video that gets to each point. If you really enjoy it and want to see some fun examples with me petting my cat and him biting me and all that good stuff, check out the longer video that I release. I'll release them both around the same time. So, life is very challenging. Things are almost designed to make life difficult for you. And this is something that Eckart talks about in this video. I'm kind of summarizing his talk and that I was really inspired by. Evolution has reached a state where the universe is realizing its own purpose and journey through you, through me. It's realizing it. The struggle is that we are in a transitional state. We are going from one mode of being, which is a reactive mode of being, a more animal-like mode of being, to a more conscious and responsive mode of being. We're going from an unconscious mode of being to a more conscious mode of being. And so that doesn't mean we're completely unconscious. What it means is that there are stages of consciousness. And let's say animals are at this stage, humanity is at this stage, and it just keeps going. God is at this stage, and Super God is at that stage. So just like in Dragon Ball Z, which I love using as examples, Goku goes beyond God, beyond the ability of God. Now, what does this mean? Obviously, there's nothing beyond the ability of God. But what they're trying to point at is that what you think is the limit for God is just the beginning. That there is always something beyond. That it is infinite. It doesn't end. There is always another level. And that's the beauty of life. Going on tangents again. So let's bring it back. Going from unconscious or less conscious to more conscious. I think that's a better way of putting it. The new mode of being is conscious participation in the creation, within this creative life, through you. It happens when you... So, how do you go from one mode, reactive and unconscious and fearful, to a more conscious, responsive, and powerful mode of being? How do you do that? So one really powerful way of doing this is when you face a challenging situation, you allow it to pull you deeper, to push you or pull you deeper into the awareness of your presence. So there's two things that can happen when a challenging situation arises. One is you can become less conscious, go into unconsciousness, anger, hatred, guilt, denial, fear, or you can go into more consciousness, more alert, present, aware, calm, poised, prepared, ready. That's a higher conscious level when that challenge is faced, right? If you think of a hero, when they face a situation that is challenging and they rise to that occasion and they overcome it, they don't react to it in fear, in anger, in denial. They're usually like ready for it. So that's what it kind of means to raise your consciousness in the face of a challenge. If you don't go deeper into your consciousness, or same thing, but in a different way of putting it, in a different perspective, if you don't raise your consciousness, both meaning the same thing, going deeper and raising are the same thing in this situation. We won't go into why in this video, but just take it as different perspectives. Choose the one you like better. So if you don't go deeper into your consciousness, things will get worse. If you go unconscious, if you go less conscious into anger, things will get a lot worse, and you suffer as a consequence. You suffer a lot more. If you become more conscious, then you don't suffer as much. You might have difficulty, but you won't suffer because of it. The suffering happens because of your thoughts and reactions about the situation generally. So what happens in the external world depends on your state of consciousness, and this is a key point. I'm going to repeat it. What happens in the external world depends on your state of consciousness, because your consciousness is directly connected to the situation. It is one single phenomena. You and the outside circumstance are directly connected. You're not separate from it, and therefore what your consciousness affects it 100%. So once you meet a situation consciously, more consciously, it changes the situation. So you realize, this realization, if you understand what I'm saying, this means you realize that you're not at the mercy of the situation. You are the creator of your situation. You might hear this a lot, but try to let that sink in. If you're in a bad situation, you created it. That's a hard pill to swallow. But that's for all of us, not just you. That's for all of us. If you're in a bad situation, or one that you dislike, it's because of you. But this is a good thing, because it means you have the power to change it. If it wasn't because of you, you would have no power to change it, which would be much worse. So then you begin, once you realize this, you can begin to change external reality by being present. And in some cases, if you need to take action, you will take the right action. You will take the action that will make the situation better, not worse. You will say the right thing. You will act selflessly for the better of the situation, not selfishly just to get what you want. So our job, in order to shift to a higher consciousness, is to first shift our consciousness higher. Then the shift will create a ripple effect, affecting other human beings around us. Because the more conscious you are, the more you affect, the more you raise the consciousness of everyone around you. You become like a light. Like, this is why Buddha would say, be a light unto yourself. When you shine a light that is bright and beautiful, it lights up everyone else, right? Kind of like when someone's really happy, makes you happy. But when someone's really sad, it's easy to get sucked into that as well. So you create a magnetic field of happiness and joy around you. The situation we are in is exactly what is needed for this as evolution. Try to understand this. Your difficult situation that you're in right now, whatever situation it is, whatever challenge you're in, is exactly what you need. for your evolution to the next stage of your conscious development. So everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Be happy. So, one last thing. Welcome whatever life brings to you in the moment, even if it's difficult. Don't complain, because when you complain, you are in an antagonistic relationship with life. And if you are in an antagonistic relationship with life, life reflects back at you this state of consciousness. It reflects back at you your own antagonism. Your own anger comes back at you. Your own hatred comes back at you. It's reflected. And not just reflected, it's multiplied. Thanks for watching. Keep living, loving, leveling up, and seize the moment to bring you enough.